bang, job done, and the double up. Double pumps to pump niggas in the wrong. Now in the right, but motherfucker in the wrong. Jaw broke, can I take on the toast? I go drummer for your mama, left leg up, broke. Be ready for the static, bitch. When I flex next, flex Lexus, guess what's next? Then flame, I say high blow, and forevermore. Never chopper, riches, got bitches on the side. Kick ride, no lay. It's how you play the game, that's why I'm dirty at a high risk shit, comes quick to side. Do what you gotta do, nigga. Do what you want to do. Do what you gotta do, nigga. Do what the fuck you want to do. Do what the fuck you gotta do, nigga. Do what you want to do. Do what you gotta do, nigga.
Well, I better be quick than the quickest Nestle. To have a nigga that test me, you'll bless me. With a bullet to the back, but niggas I ain't going out like that. These hands is quicker than the ice, so why try to flatter me with battery when all I gotta do is let it rap, bitch. I hope you got the allergy. So strap on, punk motherfuckers. Clap on hits. Time to turn them lights out on your show. Make that ass a no-show. In it down, really down. You might think I'm full of shit, but I just might shoot up, loot up, walk in jagged. Cause it wasn't my shit from the get right or wrong. I'll play you like a song, the biggest nuisance of them all. Wall to wall, bitch. I will make your air run like calls and make it fall down like the London Bridge. Dig me 6 more with gratitude.
Lord, now
I done did what I wanna gotta do, and you still got a motherfucking attitude. Nigga, what's wrong with you?
do what you gotta do, nigga. Do what you want to do. Do what you gotta do, nigga. Do what the fuck you want to do. Do what the fuck you gotta do, nigga. Do what you want to do. Do what you gotta do, nigga.
Well, I better be fast and nasty ass. I'm a blast on the first one. What the fuck is run up, done up, come up. Matter of fact, it burn up. Shit, 1 time for the mouth, 2 times for the time. No, nigga, bro, flex this. I'ma keep running off the mouth like a track star. Get a nigga roll, get a Lex.
This Chicago,
on the mic, life on the strike, and the fuck you can't flex this. Everybody saying I'm a dad. Young buck to the head like Mix. Fuck around with all these pigs. I'm surprised beef up. Get the bang, be the kick off. I'm about to get my sick up. Put a nigga head to red. First grade, I'm a first man. I'm just a nigga or bitch. I ain't gon' benefit. Get your motherfucker flip on and never give a fuck. You a young buck, nigga. That's the money you own it.
Now that 6 feet's been dug, how's that for a hole in the mug? Drug to your final resting place in a closed casket. 2 slugs to the face. Make no mistakes about it. If I wasn't real for real, I wouldn't shout it. No pain, no gain. When I gave it to the brain, it hurt cause I broke a nail on the trigger, even though I'm well trained. Shouldn't it work? No smirk on my beautiful facade. When I'm killing comrades, and even when I'm drinking at the bars for writing bars, doing charge, doing the part, which is what I had to and did do. All attitude cease, rest in peace. Another population decrease in my concerns, bitch, you're the least.
Once again on the low pro, coming at my head with the infrared. Can I die when I die is what you guessing. Depends on the Smith and West. Organization, first is vice, the second is so demanding. Can't send me off the slightest of a coffee kill, so back I hand it. Sidekicks it long, got a nice with a 5th of gin, and my 5th friends with my pimpin' friends. No sense again, till the world blow up, backtrack again. Blizzo was in, we gon' get that way. Psycho drama get blowed every day. So what the fuck up with the attitude? Cause I'm tired of you. Then what
I done heard a nigga say,
Lord, who the fuck he supposed to be?
who I'm supposed to be vocal. Riding dirty, and who's supposed to be throwing blows to me. What you know, really don't matter. Backing up their body parts. Stupid bitches ain't smart. Good, you got your car. Bitch, you got the heart, but on the real, it's real, you got the guard. See how hard you are. Hit the nigga with the bull whip. Watch his body do a full flip. But talking that bullshit. Standing in no pulpit, it can't pull shit. It's that motherfucking curtain down when it fall. Got the blood stains on the wall. And you know I have to have a son of a bastard stacker. Cause I shot him in the drawers and made him pause.
Shot him in the drawers,
like that.
Made him pause. Do what the fuck you gotta do. We up.
Can't stand it. Can't take it. Can't mistake it either. Cycle drama. Untouchable. Fuck that shit.
People at Truck Stop and teamed up with the boy Mark the Mentor. Are you ready to take your trucking business to the next level? With Truck Stop Pro, you get access to the best load board in the game, giving you the tools to find higher paying loads and streamline your operation. And right now, you can try the Pro plan free for 30 days, a $159 value. Click the link in the description to claim your free Pro plan and start making smarter moves for your trucking business today.
Warning: the following content contains strong language and may not be suitable for children. This content is primarily for adults, as this is a trucking channel and truckers have filthy mouths. Please don't tweak if I say. Viewer discretion is advised.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What up? What up? What up? What's going on? What's going on? It's been a minute. Been about 2 weeks, right? What's going on? Let's get it. Let's get it going. Let's get it going on a late night. I see we already got one in the building. I wonder if it's Pop Sosa. I wonder if the one that I see that's just so eager to play with his fingers. I wonder if that's Pop Sosa. Shout out to all my brothers of the struggle. Shout out to all my brothers of the struggle. Don't let that go over some of y'all heads. What's known don't need to be explained. I wonder if the one hater that's in here, I wonder if that's Pop Sosa. I just wonder. Y'all think it's Pop Sosa? Y'all think it's Pop Sosa? Y'all think Pop Sosa mad that the politics is still playing in the favor of the brothers? You think Pop Sosa mad that the politics still playing in the favor of the brothers? I tell people, listen, one person's plight ain't another person's plight. It's crazy how that shit, that conversation 2 weeks ago, that shit didn't age well, did it? Didn't age well. Shout out to all the brothers of the struggle, man. Shout out to all the brothers of the struggle, man. Shout out to Craig Freeman, what's going on? Shout out to Jonathan. Shout out to all the MGM members. Shout out to Mr. Jenkins in the building. Shout out to Marcellus. Shout out to Goat. Who is this? Big Al? Big Al. I ain't never seen Big Al before. Who is Big Al talking about? Who this? Who you talking about, Big Al? Who you talking about? Jay Stokes said they done freed Larry. They done freed Larry. Trump should have freed Larry. Fuck is wrong with dude? Fuck is wrong with dude? That's crazy. I wonder if Trump heard the song. I wonder if he heard the song. I wonder how Pop Sosa feel. And all the people that use the racist rhetoric, the racist rhetoric. I wonder how they feel. I wonder. Shout out to Cordell. Shout out to Talk with Walt. Shout out to all the MGM members. Shout out to Pippi. Shout out to all the models. Shout out to Rich. Shout out to everybody from the Kidney Ayub. Shout out to Chicago's very own. Shout out to I Get Paid to Wait. Shark Life Ventures, what up? I Get Paid to Wait. What's going on? All right, so boom. Let's get into it. Uh-oh. Y'all coming in. Listen, did you read Creative Investor? Now, me and Creative Investor, we get along, but we done had some debates in the past. Creative Investor, Amazon no longer profitable, finally landing me a local contract almost 3 years later. Ain't me and Creative, ain't you one of them ones that used to go back and forth with me about Amazon? Ain't you one of them ones? Hey, listen. Today is a day that's just not aging well for a lot of y'all. A lot of y'all that was on the against Mark bandwagon, it wasn't the fact that Mark wasn't right. It just wasn't right then at that moment. See, I tried to warn y'all. Just like I tried to warn Buddy a few weeks ago. Man, they ain't messing with the money, big dog. They ain't messing with the money. They can't be messing with the money, big dog. They can't be messing with the money. What you mean they messing with the money? What do you mean they messing with the money? You sure it's not a supply and demand issue? You sure it's not a overabundance of competition? You sure it's not a lot of people just running off desperation because they fucked up out here in these streets and they complaining, which is the reason why I'm doing this shit tonight, because they don't understand business. Now, I know you understand a little business because me and you have had some conversations. But do you think it's Amazon or do you think it's economics? Talk to me. Shout out to Clean Money Gibbs. You said you just watched the video on Aurora. You said you just watched the video on Aurora. Which Aurora? You talking about Aurora, Illinois? You talking about Aurora, Illinois, right outside, right out the city? Or you talking about like Aurora, Colorado? Which Aurora you talking about? There's a few Auroras throughout the country. Great Investor says a little bit of everything. Oh, Big Al said the song. Big Al, that's an old shit. Listen, Big Al, I'm an OG. I'm an OG, Big Al. Big Al, I'm an OG. That's that old psychodrama. You don't know nothing about that. That's that old psychodrama. That's that old psychodrama. You know, we gotta play some music from the crib. I was gonna play for all my GD brothers. I was gonna play this for y'all. I was gonna play this for y'all. I was gonna play this for y'all. But y'all don't know nothing about that. Shout out to all my brothers of the struggle. Y'all really, y'all celebrate today. All right, but come on in. Let's get this show on the road. Shout out to everybody. Come on in. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn all post notifications. Hey, man, what Pop So said, man? I heard they freed Young Boy, too. I heard Young Boy got off. That's another one for the brothers. Look like the brothers is winning. A lot of gangsters got off and got pardoned during the first term. A lot of sisters that had a multitude of years for minimal crimes got pardoned. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know what Pop Sosa was talking about. The brothers is winning. Your plight ain't our plight. It is what it is. Check it out, big dog. I want to talk about complaining, man, real quick. And it's probably going to make some people mad. It's probably going to motivate some people. It's going to motivate the real hustlers. The people who ain't hustlers, they going to get upset. They going to tell Mark, you sitting on this soapbox and you ain't in the struggle no more and you don't know what it's like. You a motherfucking lie. You a motherfucking lie. You get out the struggle by not complaining. You get out the struggle by creating a solution to your problems. This is how I know when I hear people complain and then they try to hit me with this sad story about how life was a struggle. Bullshit. I know a motherfucker that's really been through the struggle because motherfuckers that been through the struggle make a way out of no way. Ain't no time to complain in real life. So in business, it should be a piece of cake. That's why when motherfuckers be in my comment, like somebody was in my comment today, and they wrote this long comment complaining about race, like my response wasn't sympathetic. To some, it may have been harsh. But as a business owner, you don't have time to complain. You gotta problem solve. Your job is to solve problems. Nobody said business was gonna be easy. Business is hard. Life is hard. You decided to get into an industry that has razor thin margins. We talk about it. We don't talk about it as much because I don't stream as much as I used to because I'm tired of all the fucking complaining. I don't want to hear this shit. That's one reason why I just fell back on the complaining. You know, you entered into an industry. I told one guy today, he said, oh, well, I got in 8 months ago and now I'm going to have to get out. Well, guess what? The rate, the industry was similar 8 months ago as it is today. So that means you're telling on yourself. That means you invested into something that you didn't understand. Why complain now? Inflation existed 8 months ago. People were complaining 8 months ago. You entered into an industry with razor thin margins, rising costs, slow weeks. Shaky demand. So what happens, what I'm seeing is a pattern of, instead of people creating solutions and problem solving, they come to the internet and they vent. They go in these Facebook groups or they come into comments when I put up videos that are meant to open your mind and open up a discussion, and then you come in and vent and you expect me to like uh coddle you or something. Ain't gonna happen over here. You complain about rates and brokers and dispatchers and the whole nine. Everybody got something to complain about. The truth of the matter is, there's people still out here winning. I don't. To me personally, I don't understand the complaining. Because then I'm trying to figure out, like, what are these people like? Have these people ever had any real situations in real life that hit them and they had to figure shit out? I don't think so. I think a lot of people that I come across that's coming into this industry, I think they probably grew up with a silver spoon in their mouth. Or they never really had to deal, they weren't never really faced with real challenges. Everybody's stuck in this cycle of just constant complaining, man. And I'm gonna tell you, the complaining, that's a trap. It's a trap that tricks your mind into believing that you're doing something productive and you're not. When you're complaining, that's not productive, it's counterproductive. You just spinning your wheels and then you ain't really going nowhere. Business owners aren't paid to complain. Look at it like this. Look at like the big CEOs, like the CEO of Boeing. I think he's making like 33 million a year. The CEOs of all these big companies. You know why they get paid so much money and why they get hired? Because they know how to solve problems. See, there's an old saying, right? If you can find a way to start a business and make money consistently, you'll be successful. If you can solve people's problems, you'll be wealthy. It's a difference. If you've been watching my channel throughout my tenure of creating content, a little over 3 years now, you always hear me say, since I started, if you don't know how to solve problems, you'll fail at business. I don't care what business it is, because you're going to be faced with problems. The more successful you come, the more money you make, the more your team grows, the more your fleet grows, the more opportunities for problems, and they will come every single day, multiple times a day. And you're sitting at the helm of that operation, so everybody's looking to you to solve those problems. They're looking at you to solve the problems of the business. They're looking at you to solve their personal problems. Your team, your management team, if you get to that point where you can insulate or isolate yourself from the lower level workers, they're looking to you to solve problems. Everybody's looking to you. This is what you signed up for. So when people come to me and they be in my comment section, they be complaining about rates and shit like that, I'm not the guy that's going to be sympathetic for you, because there's a solution for rates, and we talk about it all the time. It's just a lot of people choose not to do what's in their best interest, or they didn't do what was in their best interest initially. That's put them in this jam where now they don't have no breathing room, or they ain't got really too many moves that they can make on the chessboard because they put themselves in that situation. You know why the call-in show is the number one show in this small little niche? And when I say the number one show, because I've seen a content creator question what determines number one, it's not just the number as far as the live spectators or the replay views. There's a lot of variables that go into it. One is consistency. Whenever I do that show, people always show up for it. Why? Because it's educational and also it's entertaining. Something very, very hard to do. Believe it or not, that show is hard to do. Up until recently, a lot of people thought I got off on doing that show as far as the accountability, and then you realize I really didn't. When I told you it gave me headaches, and I told you as much as people like that show, I don't enjoy doing it because it's tough talking to people that have no idea, that have no clue. Look at the last one. The young brother came up, got into something he didn't understand, being taken advantage of the people who's supposed to be looking out for him, has no clue. You saw the desperation. The one before that didn't know what his cost was, didn't even understand why he needed to know. The guy literally asked me what I need to know my cost for. Like, who am I giving it to? To the point where y'all think these is paid actors. No, these are real individuals. None of these guys can solve problems. They're not going to be successful. They don't even know what the hell they're doing. You can't get into something, you can't invest into something that you don't understand. You're going to fail. How can you solve a problem when you don't even know what your operational cost is? How can you solve a problem when you don't even know why you need to know what your operational cost is? And then you come into my comments. That's the difference between the people who succeed and the people that fail. And that's why we have and we have nots. The people who want to have, those are the people that's going to do what's in their best interest, whatever that is. If it means burning the midnight oil to get a full understanding of what they're about to invest into, then so be it. If you spend a lot of time talking about your problems instead of working on solutions, you're not running a business. You're just running your mouth. That's why when these people come up and they be talking this shit, a lot of times I just let them do it because it's really not in their best interest. It's more in my best interest than it is theirs. They don't even know how to play the game. The time that you spend in complaining, you could be coming up with a solution to your problem. What's strange to me is you complaining to other people who really don't give a fuck. 98% or 99% of the people, when people run to Facebook or people come to YouTube or they go to wherever the fuck they go and then they complain, 98% of the people that are in this niche are in the same boat that they in. They don't give a fuck about your complaints. They trying to figure the same shit out that you trying to figure out. So not only are you wasting time complaining, you're wasting more time by coming complaining to a bunch of motherfuckers that's in the same boat as you. That shit don't make no sense to me whatsoever. That shit don't make no sense to me. You are the person that's supposed to solve your problems. Shouldn't nobody even know about your problems because the time that you spend in venting and complaining, you should be solving the problem. Whatever that solution may be. Every second that you wasting complaining, you could be brainstorming, strategizing, or innovating. That's why I just be questioning, like, bro, a lot of these cats, 98% can't really come from struggle. A lot of these A lot of motherfuckers that I hear complaining, ain't no way you came from struggle. Ain't no way you've come from a past where you had to figure out how to make a way out of no way. If you are a person who has successfully been able to maneuver through life and you've come from struggle and you find a way out of no way by any means necessary, you should be able to apply that same mentality when it comes to business. When I talk to people in my head, I'm storing all the data. When I talk to people from the Southeast, I notice they're a little bit different than the people from up north. And the people that are up from up north, especially the larger cities, are a little bit different than the middle Americans. Some people that just come from harsher backgrounds, larger populated cities, just seem to be a little bit more successful than I've noticed that people that come from small rural areas. They don't complain as much. Now ask yourself why. Why you think that is? If you come from middle America and you used to having things your way, low cost of living, things of that nature, you're going to have to change your mentality. I see that a lot with a lot of the middle Americans that I talk to. They don't have that get up and go get it. They don't have that. And I understand why, but guess what? You've entered into a competitive landscape, and some of the people that you're going to be competing against, they dogs. People get upset when I be like, yo, this is a competitive landscape and y'all competing for the same shit. And that's true. But people still get upset. No, it's enough money out here for everybody. It depends on how you look at it. I gave an example, I think the last time I came on live. If there's a customer and they're looking to book a move, they can only hire one company. If they go on Thumbtack or they go on Google and they search, they're going to come across a plethora of companies, but only one company is going to get a job. Out of that plethora of companies that they see, they're going to narrow all those companies down to maybe, let's say, 10 that they're actually going to call. Then out of those 10 that they call, only one of them is going to get the job. And that's going to be the person who ultimately has the best rate, the availability, and the company that can sell themselves the best. If you're in that position and you're not turning over leads, then why complain about it? That means it's something that you're doing wrong. That means you need to go back to the drawing board, figure out what you're doing wrong, and come up with a solution to the problem. Coming and complaining ain't going to help your situation. There's a guy I was talking to, actually two people I was talking to in the Discord that are recently starting moving companies, and they say, Mark, man, we ain't got no moves booked this weekend. I say, why? I don't know. And then once I get to doing my due diligence, one of them decided that he wanted to go up to $95 an hour. So Big Mark, you know me, I'm a straight shooter. What the fuck you do that for? Who told you was worth $95 an hour? I don't want to hear no complaining about you ain't got no moves, but first of all, it's Memorial Day weekend. It's the end of the month. Monday's a holiday. people utilize that day because it's a paid day off. If their lease is up, they'll move that day. This weekend, this past weekend and this weekend coming up, and all this week, you should be booked and busy. It's the end of the month, first of the month. It's the moving rush. Third biggest weekend of the moving season. How you ain't got nothing booked? You complaining, but you should be problem solving. I already gave you the solution. Most of the guys that complain about rates, I think they have a false sense of reality on what they should be making, and or their operational cost is extremely high, and or they just don't understand the landscape of the industry and the business and how competitive it is. The more difficult things are, even tougher. When you put a percentage of people that are operating from despair and they're desperate, even tougher. This is what you got to compete against. This is something that you should understand prior to coming into business. Ain't no camaraderie. Nobody's going to do what's in the best interest of you. I don't understand, why do people think that? And that's why I was kind of poking fun at Pop Sosa in the beginning of the live stream. Because a few weeks ago when we were having that debate, he wanted me to be sympathetic and empathetic to his plight, but that our plights ain't the same. And I know better than that, because guess what? A motherfucker ain't gonna be sympathetic or empathetic of mine. You not thinking about me. Just like I ain't thinking about you. Same thing in business. The person that you're complaining, oh, stop taking, just stop. Man, they looking at it like, man, I need gas, man. Fuck what you talking about. Listen, I need this, man. My truck no do. My insurance do. I don't know what my cost is. All I know is once I run this, they gonna pay me, and I'm gonna take that money and pay my bills, and whatever little else I got left, I'm gonna put in the gas tank, and I'm gonna go book another load that I don't know if I'm making money or losing money. I'm just need some liquidity coming in. Why you complaining about somebody that don't even give a fuck about what you got going on? See how that's a waste of time? It's a waste. You can't change it. The only thing you can do is what's in the best interest of you, and make sure that you're running lean. I'm talking about any niche or any business that you're running in. You got to make sure that your operation is lean so that when things change and shift, you'll be fine. If things are good, then okay, your margins will get bigger. If things turn bad, you know what? You're operating lean. Your margins may be tighter, but still you're profitable. That's what a person I think that is a business owner should be focusing on instead of complaining. Y'all didn't remember, some of y'all that grew up in the struggle, and you know when things would get tight, mama would go out and work extra hours, do overtime, whatever the case may be. Some of y'all remember that? When your mom or your dad used to work overtime to make shit happen. If they were just making ends meet, check to check type shit. And like, let's say when Christmas or something come, they would start pulling overtime just to make sure that you had gifts under the tree. Or if something happened, let's say at the home that needed a repair, and they would go work overtime, pick up a second job, or your little brother, your little sister, your older brother, older sister wanted to go away to school, and dad had to go take a second job to go put your sibling through school, or whatever the case may be. a problem presented itself, but I can speak for myself. And growing up in the struggle, I never saw my OG complain. I just saw her do what she needed to do to make shit happen. And somewhere down the line, as generations have gone on, even with my grandma, God rest her soul, you know what I'm saying? Welfare projects, Rockwell Garden, 8 kids. Somehow she was able to make shit happen. I never heard nobody complain. Today we living in a complaining society. I'm not the type of person to complain. I've always been the type of person that's solution based. You're never going to be successful if you constantly complain about dumb shit that's beyond your control. A lot of y'all young niggas, young cats, I should say, y'all got that shit the worst. All y'all do is complain. It kills your momentum. It kills your spirit. It drains your energy. It creates this whole negative culture around you. And that's why when people come to me with that shit, I fight right back with that shit and tell you I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that complaining shit. Ain't nobody gonna want to work with you. Ain't nobody gonna want to help you. I'm gonna tell you something too that my mama always told me too. Even if you have a problem, the last thing you want to do is go tell a motherfucker your problem, complain, because a motherfucker sit up there and coddle you and they act like they in your best interest. Whole time, motherfucker happy. They praying on your downfall. You don't never let nobody know you going through something. They gonna pray on that shit. That's why I be like, man, where y'all? Some of y'all, I ain't talking about every guy. Some of y'all, when y'all be coming, I be like, where y'all from? Who raised y'all? All that emotional shit. That's why when I get into these debates, how sometimes I play it so well I could be undefeated. Because, man, most of these motherfuckers, they get emotional. That's why I be like, bro, who raised y'all? Where y'all from? Motherfucker don't give a fuck, and or they really low key, they happy you struggling. They happy you going through that shit. Why would you go volunteer that information? That time you doing that, you could be problem solving, bro. Don't nobody want to be around nobody that's negative, that's a loser. People want to surround themselves with winners. The time you complaining, you could be focusing on figuring out a way to win. Misery love company. I don't want to be around you. Come to me with some solutions. If you come to me and say, look, I'm having some problems, but I got a list of solutions, which one do you think suits me the best? See, now that's that fly shit that I'm talking about. When you go to a motherfucker and you just complaining about some shit, man, don't nobody want to hear that shit. I know people that I've talked to, that I've met throughout this content creation journey. Every year they win. regardless of what is going on currently in the market. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. They win. Some of them because they listen to me. Some of them because they have a good, strong work ethic. They understand cost. And they listen to me. And they don't complain. I got people in my Discord. I got one guy. It's like every week somebody was breaking into his van. Every week somebody was breaking into his van. Every single week. Lives in New York. Obviously, the parking situation in New York is rough. It's a big city, a lot of break-ins, a lot of vandalism. It's just a part of living in a big city. Shit happens. It happens here. I've had people steal my catalytic converters on my 16-footers. I've had people break in, steal my batteries out my trucks. It's just something that lives in it's just part of living in a big city. But every week, somebody was breaking into his truck, stealing his tools, breaking his window, breaking the glass, breaking in through the back, breaking in through the window, stealing the tools, just breaking in. Yeah, Mark, they broke in again. Well, what you doing? What you gonna get the glass fixed? Man, I'm on a job. I have to get it fixed later. Just casually said, hey, they broke in again in the midst of conversation. Nah, oh man, I'm so sick of this happening. They keep doing this to me. Why? Nah. Wasn't even the first topic of conversation. It just happened to come up within conversation. Not complaining. Why? Because complaining ain't gonna get shit done. You pick up, you keep it moving. It is what it is. It is what it is. You got to be a solution-based thinker. A solution-based thinker. You have to be a person who relentlessly solves problems. Not the person that when you get hit with a setback, the first thing that come out your mouth is, why me? If you a why me type person, then you need to change your whole understanding. When some shit happen, the first thought should be problem solve. Go into problem solving mode. So, like I said, this will motivate some people. Some people, they ain't gonna want to hear this shit. The problem, the complainer ain't gonna want to hear this shit. We got one in here already. That's why they gonna always lose. That's why they gonna always be a failure. Right? Because even now, you're angry at me to the one person. You're wasting time on someone that you don't even like, or what's being said, it doesn't suit your fancy, but instead you want to sit here and listen instead of go do something that is beneficial to you. And there's no way on God's green earth I'm going to give anybody my time that I disagree with or that I don't like. Because I ain't going to never get that time back. I'd rather lose money than time. Why? Because I'll never get the time back. I can always get some money. It's plenty of money. I can't get this time back. I don't like wasting time. And I ain't going to waste it on some shit or somebody that I don't like. You know what the difference between winners and complainers? A complainer is going to say, why is this happening to me? A winner is going to say something like, what am I going to do about it? A winner's always looking to solve a problem. How do you become a solution-based individual? First, you got to change your mindset. When you come across a problem, you got to start tackling them head on. It's okay to get upset. Give yourself a few seconds or a few minutes to be upset. No longer than 5 minutes. Keep that shit to yourself. Especially if you're a business owner. Even if you were just a man in general. Don't nobody want to hear your problems. That's one thing about being a dude where it's like a double standard type, you know what I'm saying? Where, like even relationships and marriages, as the dude, you gotta be like Superman around this motherfucker. You can't have a bad day. You can't complain. Whenever you're having a bad day, you just gotta suck it up and deal with it. It's just part of being a man. Because if you're in a relationship with a woman and you're married or you're in a relationship, it's her job to be emotional. You're the shoulder for her to cry on. So even as a man, like, this shit is crazy to me, bro. So as a man and as a business owner, why are you wasting time complaining? That's why I be like, where y'all? Like, let me not say that. Not all y'all. Some of y'all, I'm like, where y'all from? Who raised y'all? Acknowledge the problem. Move on. Give yourself a few minutes to process this shit. And then start problem solving. Stop asking yourself, why is this happening to me? Start asking yourself, how can I fix this shit? Ain't nobody coming to save your ass. Break the problem down. If there's a big problem that is filled with a bunch of smaller problems, start tackling the smaller problems one by one. Ultimately, if you ever get a chance to build a business that's very, very successful, which is what everybody wants, so they can make this large sum of money, you're never going to get there unless you're able to problem solve. I really surround yourself with people that can solve problems too. Like a lot of people's problems is they come into business, right? And they don't change their circle. First of all, if you growing up and you getting older, you should start seeing yourself have less and less friends anyway. Because this is what happens when people grow. The people outgrow people. Some people are still stuck in their ways. Some people still doing dumb shit, so on and so forth. When you start a business, you have to remove yourself, one, from a lot of people who are negative, or two, people who aren't headed in the same direction as you. Because remember what I said earlier, some people is preying on your downfall. So when things happen, like negative things, those aren't the people that you want to go cry on their shoulder anyway, because in reality, they happy the shit happening anyway. So you want to put yourself around people who are going in the direction that you're going. You want to put yourself in those types of environments and those networks. Surround yourself with people that are solution-based, not complainers. If you are or ever get to a point where you build big enough and you have a management team in between you and the workers or the service providers, you should train your management team to bring you solutions and not problems. You're paying them to be solution based. That's why they're managers. When you have team meetings, they should come to the table with a list of solutions, and then y'all collectively figure this shit out together. The unfortunate thing about this is that 98, 99% of the people are going to continue to fail because the shit that I just talked about right now, they not going to implement none of it. Everything that you see on the call-in show, they're going to continue to not know what it cost them. They're going to continue to do things that are not in their best interest. They're going to continue to complain about shit that's beyond their control. And they're going to ultimately fail. That's the unfortunate thing. The unfortunate thing is something that's so simple is so hard to people. Something that's so simple is so hard to people. I don't understand what's so hard about math. Basic math. I don't understand what's so hard about cost. I don't understand why people don't think they should know it. Now, if I was up here tonight, and I know it's late, but I know it was a game on, and people wanted to watch that game, so I kind of waited. If I was up here tonight, and I guarantee you, let's say Pop Sosa was here and we were going back and forth, it would be a lot more people here. The chat engagement would be up. And it'd be a lot livelier, more livelier live, right? Which I'm okay with. I understand how this works. But whenever there's something serious, only a minute amount of people really stick for the message. Now, parallel that with the success rate. Only a minute amount of people succeed. See how the math works? A minute amount of people succeed. A minute amount of people stay for the information that's really valuable to them. The rest of the people that fail, like none of these guys that you see come up on the call-in show, I never see none of them in the chat. Nah, granted, they probably watch some of the replays. They really don't watch the live streams. They watch like the video content. And then when they catch me live, they come up here. And I know it's because when I ask them questions, they say, man, Mark, I watch all your content. But yet they're coming up here telling me you don't know your operational costs. And anybody that watches all my content knows that that's something that I really, really focus on. And if I find out that you don't know that, then we're going to hold you accountable. This is the type of shit that can't hold their attention. Why? Because it's hard. It's hard listening to someone tell you something that's in your best interest. And this is one of the main reasons that the success rate is minimal and the failure rate is high. And I'm okay with it. I like the fact that, and some people get mad when I say this, that people don't do what's in their best interest. Here, check this out. Before I get out of here, everybody can't win. See, now this is the truth, some truth for your ass. This is the truth of the matter. Everybody can't win. If everybody won, we wouldn't have an economy. If everybody lost, we wouldn't have an economy, right? We need people to win. We need people to lose. We need people to be in the middle. We need people to struggle. We need the 1%ers. We need the people that are under the 1%ers. We need the rich people that are, the 7-figure people. We need the 9-figure people. We need the 6-figure people. We need the 5-figure people. We need the person that is struggling, but they're working hard from check to check, and then they got to go out and do a second job. We need all this shit because this is what makes the economy thrive. Right? Because we need people to do shit that, let's say, these people don't want to do, but they don't have to do, right? So those people that are down here, they're going to do those things. The people that are down here doing said things, whatever they are, these are things that the people up here need and the people below them need. This is what makes the economy work. You as an individual got to decide where you want to fall on this spectrum. See, nobody's going to give you anything, right? It's up to you to decide where you want to fall on the spectrum. And then you go out and then you make strides and a plan and start setting goals and then putting in the work to find a spot where you want to land. If it's up here, if it's right here, if it's down here. Obviously, the more work and the more education, the educated you are as far as whatever you're investing in, whatever you're getting into, the more skilled at it that you are, the understanding your costs, being able to compete and outcompete your competitors in whatever niche, whatever market, obviously is going to help you scale. But ultimately, that placement is up to you. Nobody's going to give that shit to you, right? The people that are down here, those are the people that don't do what's in their best interest. They complain, right? They make dumbass decisions. They don't know what it costs them to run their business. They just keep fucking up. I'm cool with it. Some people say, like, oh, somebody said something today. I watched one of the live streams from 2 weeks ago and said, man, Mark, I disagree. Why would you want the economy to crash so I can buy assets at a cheaper cost? What's wrong with that? Why would I want to spend more money on something when I can get it for less and then sell it for high? But then there's someone, shout out to that person, because they're not a bad person. They're just a person that just doesn't understand how shit works. The people that scale and then they land in a higher placement are the people that understand how things work and then they play the game. Just like I was trying to explain to the young blood 2 weeks ago. Pop Sosa, a lot of decisions that people make aren't necessarily decisions, or people that are business savvy aren't decisions that are based off of emotion. They're based on what's best for them. I make my decisions off what's best for me. I don't. And when you run a business, it's your job to do what's in the best interest of the business. It's up to you to meet the needs of the business. The business don't meet the needs of you. You meet the needs of the business. I don't understand why people don't understand that. You start a business, the business does not meet your needs. You're supposed to meet the needs of the business, whatever that is. If it requires you 20 hours, then so be it. It's what it is. That's going to determine if you land here or if you land down here. Now, if you like being down here, cool. I'm cool with it. Why? Because we need you. I need you at the grocery store. I need you to make sure the eggs is stocked. I need you working that back room. I need you to drop off my DoorDash. I need you to, do all the things that the people up here and the people right here don't want to do because they don't have to, because they can afford to pay you to do the shit that they don't want to do. So if you are a person that want to be down here, I'm cool with it. Why? Because it's a place for you. We need you. It's not a bad thing, to be honest with you. Oh, Mark, No, I'm telling you the truth. You can place yourself wherever you want to place on this spectrum of failure or success. But that's all dependent on you. But you appreciate it wherever you are. Need somebody at the fast food place. We need somebody stocking the shelves at Walmart. We need somebody stocking the shelves at Target. We need the chicks that work at Family Dollar and Rainbow. We need them. We need people to write tickets. We need valet people. We need janitors. We need electricians. See, it ain't just the small part-time jobs. I'm working my way up. We need electricians. We need plumbers. We need people that know HVAC, welding. We need people that understand and know horticulture. We need mechanics, auto mechanics. We need diesel mechanics. We need engineers, civil engineers. And we can continue to go up. So we can start very, very low and we can work our way up. It's all where you want to be. It's how the economy works. I understand it. So that's why when people come in and they say this shit, this crazy shit, I'm like, think about what you're saying before you say it. If I say, yo, I think a correction would be very healthy, and then I explain to you why, and you say, "Oh, no, why would you want that? We can bounce back without it. No, why would you want that?" That's a poor mind. That's a poor mentality. And I'm not talking financially. I'm talking mentally poor. You can't say that you are a business owner, you want to be a successful business owner, and you have a poor mentality and you don't understand the way the game is played, and or you don't even know how to make money. You can't make money by buying things at an exorbitant cost. And then what? Where do you sell it at? Where's your exit point at? Think about it. So when the guy who came in to challenge me today, like, where's your exit? So when I say no, I want it to crash. Listen, your plight and my plight are too different. All right. Why aren't you prepared? Why are you looking at a crash as something negative? Why aren't you looking at it as an opportunity? See, you're looking at it from a negative perspective. It goes back to what I'm saying, complaining. I'm looking at it as an opportunity. I don't think nothing's negative. I think it's either good or it's opportunity. It's just, are you in position to take advantage of it? When you change your mentality, you're not going to look at shit from a negative perspective. You're going to look at it as an opportunity. The next person who's looking at a negative, that's because they poor mentally. That's why they in the position that they in. Worried about what other people are doing, worried about what other men are doing, counting other men's pockets, complaining about dumb shit that's beyond their control. Shit like that, you know how people do. Instead of focusing on what's in front of them, learning the way things work, learning how the game is paid, and thinking the same way that I'm thinking, right? Because they want to take the money that they're making, right, in this industry with the small margins, right, and figure out a way to put it somewhere else where that money and that growth can outpace what they're doing right now. And they're going to want to take that money and put it wherever when the opportunity is the best, right? Buy for $1, sell for $2. Not buy for $1, sell for 50 fucking cents. So when I say, oh, I want shit to crash and correct itself, why? Because that presents the best opportunity to buy. if you're looking at it from a negative perspective, that means you ain't did what was in your best interest. You ain't got your shit together. My plight and your plight ain't the same plight. Take advantage of the situation, learn from that missed opportunity, set yourself up and be prepared for the next time. That's it. Shout out to you, Mika, for becoming a member. Look, I ain't finna hold you. Where my button is? I don't even stream that much no more. I don't even know where my button's at.
Sweet.
Shout out to Mika for becoming a member. Dave, see, this is what I'm saying. Dave always thinks some shit funny. Everything is funny. What's funny, Dave? Did I crack a joke? I could be wrong. Did I crack a joke? What's funny? Because you always laughing. What's so funny? I don't think I said nothing funny this live stream. What's funny? Let me see. Oh, yeah, we streaming on Twitch. I think I did see somebody. I don't know if I said it or I saw somebody caught that. Yeah, I didn't even mention it earlier. So we streaming on Twitch now. Make sure I see it. Okay. I get paid to wait. Caught it. Okay. So I get paid to wait. We're streaming on Twitch. Obviously, no one's over there because I just built it, created it. I have no subscribers over there yet. So make sure you sign up and you follow me on Twitch. Obviously, I'm going to be doing live streams simultaneously here and there. I'm also going to be doing some different things over on Twitch because I want to build that platform out. I've been inspired to build out that platform over the course of the past couple of weeks. I have some ideas. So I am streaming over there right now. Obviously, I still stream simultaneously on Facebook, YouTube. We're on Twitch now. Facebook, YouTube. I don't really like Instagram. I don't like TikTok. So I don't stream there. So right now we're on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. So make sure you go follow me on Twitch. Like I said, we're gonna be doing some different things over there. We'll do some simulcasts whenever I go on YouTube, but there may be times where, I may not come on YouTube. I'll be just strictly on Twitch because what I may be doing may be better for Twitch and not so much for YouTube. All right. So good eye to I get paid to wait. Because I didn't even announce it earlier. So appreciate you paying attention. Shout out to Carlito. Shout out to everybody from the crib. Creative Investor said he's going OTR. He's coming out of Amazon. I don't like y'all Amazon guys. Like y'all, I'm gonna do an Amazon live stream. We gotta hold some of y'all accountable. We gotta nana boo boo y'all. I ain't nana boo boo y'all in a long time. I think I gotta have to nana boo boo some of y'all. Shout out to Juan say, Mark, just want to say thank you, man, for putting me on the game with the POD around a year ago. Oh, you talking about the pod? I have locked in my first big time moving job. It's all thanks to your content and yourself. That moving money different. Shout out to Juan.
Sweet.
A lot of people switching over to moving now. I wonder why. Check this out. Check this out. A lot of y'all that's trying to switch over to moving, that's coming to me, that was, laughing and talking all that shit 3 years ago. I'm going to tell you this too. Just because you switch don't mean you're going to be successful at it. It's different. The money different, but the work is different, right? So if you aren't a hard worker physically, right? The competition, right? There's still a level of competition, and I'm having to. And here's another thing before I get out. Like if you come to me for help, and I heard this content creator, well, Mark says he wants you to do his things or the hard way. He don't want. You goddamn right, because I know what you need to do to be successful. This is why people like Juan and all the other people you keep, even the people that you see come up and be like, man, Mark, I didn't like you at first, but man, I had to finally start listening. And man, you right. And I just wanted to come and apologize. All that shit. Listen, I know what I'm talking about. I did the shit for you. I took the L's for you. I went through the learning curve for you so that you don't have to do it. So I don't understand, like, when You come to me and I give you this fucking blueprint. Why you just gotta tweak it? Don't tweak the shit. The shit is perfect the way it is. It's beautiful the way it is. If I tell you, yo, charge $75 an hour, I'm telling you to charge $75 for a fucking reason. When you go up to $95 an hour, AJ, and then you wonder why Memorial Day weekend you have no moves, right? I'm using him as a case study, as an example, because you know we hold people accountable on this channel. That's that $20 an hour. It puts you out the competition pool. If I give you a rate, I'm giving you a rate so that you can be successful and you can close leads. Just listen. So even with people switching over to moving, a lot of the people that switch over, just because you switch over don't mean you're going to be successful at it. I'm seeing that now. Some people, they don't want to listen. Either they don't want to do the work, they don't want to listen to the rates that I'm giving them. When I say, listen, don't do 1 bedrooms, don't do 2 bedrooms. You don't know what you're doing. Start small, just doing odds and ends. I had a guy come to me about a month ago. Some kid, 29 years old, ain't got a goddamn truck, ain't got a pot to piss in, nor a window to throw it out of. Going to tell me, look, man, I don't want to start with no 1 bedrooms. I'm too big for that. I'm too big for that. I said, you too big for that? How many trucks you got? I ain't got no truck yet. You ain't got a truck. You ain't got a business, but you're telling me you're too big for something. I'm telling you to start small and work your way up for a reason. But then you have people that are bright-eyed and bushy-tailed that want to tell me, no, I want to move $3 and $4 million mansions. All right, boom. You come in with no experience. You go into a $3-4 million mansion. That means they have $3-4 million mansion furniture. Not that shit from Bob's. Not that shit from IKEA. Some shit from Restoration Hardware, right? Fucking $9,000 to $10,000 dressers, right? That weigh 300 and 400 pounds, and you don't know how to wrap that shit. You don't know how to maneuver that shit. This is why I say start small and work your way up. And or they have dark hardwood floors, or they have marble floors, and they have, the decor in there is very upscale. And, you go into a home of that value and you scratch a wall, it's different from you going into an apartment, a 2-flat apartment, and there's a high turnover in that apartment building, right? And the fucking hallway walls are scratched up and the carpet is dirty and there's a stench in the hallway. Those are the jobs that you want to do, but you want to do them on a minute level so that you can learn the business at a fraction of the cost. And when I say a fraction of the cost, I'm talking about the learning curve cost. Because you go into this big $3 million mansion, you don't know who that guy is. He could be a fucking lawyer, right? So how you get out of that? You don't know what you're doing. You done went in there, you messed these people's shit up because you were bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. You thought you was bigger than what you was, instead of listening to me and starting out small and working your way up. Never fails. Never fails. Let me see. Marcel, I see Larry home, Mark. I'm sure Chicago about to celebrate. Shout out to all my brothers of the struggle. Yeah, the GDs is turned, man. Shout out to all my GD buddies. Shout out to I. Shout out to Pete. Shout out to Sale. Shout out to my brother Tails. A lot of OG GDs is happy. A lot of young boys, they don't really know, they don't really care. But my generation, maybe the older millennials, but my generation for sure, the older millennials, yeah. So shout out to all the brothers of the struggle. He's not necessarily coming home. He's just getting out of the Fed. He still got to come back to Illinois to finish that sentence. So if the governor commutes him, then he'll be home. I think they're going to transport him from Supermax out in Colorado, and he's going to have to fall into an Illinois Department of Corrections somewhere downstate, Vandalia, Vienna, somewhere. Stateville, wherever they place him at. So he's still gonna have to go back into the system just on a state level from the that situation that happened back in '73. But yeah, a lot of OG brothers of the struggle is excited right about now. Let me see where I leave off at. Calvin Thomas said the First Step Act got him home early. And see, and not to go into politics, but here's the thing. Here's another situation of someone that's in this chat that is home because of something that I ain't gonna say the name that this person did that I was having a debate with Pop Sosa 2 weeks ago. And that's what I'm saying. Everybody's plight ain't the same. You know what I'm saying? Some people, and he's gonna say, well, man, Mark, you're black. Why would you vote? Because that man I ain't seen that man do nothing but help black folk. Our plights ain't the same. You got a guy right here home. I'll tell you one thing. Kamala wasn't gonna bring Larry home. Why? Because her job many years ago was to put people in jail. Right. So he still got to do the time here for the murder from 1973. And if one of our governors decide to commute it, then he'll come home. But I'm pretty sure, 23-1, him coming from Colorado, that Supermax out there in Colorado, to a state facility where he'll be able to go out on a rec yard, exercise, be able to have that level of freedom that, you don't get. I mean, you can just look at the people that's over in Florence at 80X Supermax, the type of people that's there. I think the Unabomber is there. Obviously, El Chapo is there. Larry was there. Jeff Ford is there. Gino is there. It's a lot of gangsters over there. And then it's a lot of people that really deserve to be there that have done heinous things. I think the Boston Marathon bombers, that guy, that's a lot of those bombers are there. A lot of those people that deserve to be there. But then there's people that I think don't necessarily deserve to be there, that are there, or have, got sentenced with, these max sentences for something that, really didn't deserve all those years. Like, for instance, the two young ladies that Kim got freed during the first, I think her name was Antoinette or whatever her name was, I think she was from Mississippi or Memphis or whatever, who got the 25, 30 years for some weed or some shit like that, man. Like, the shit like that, man, all those years, man, that shit is crazy. So yeah, I think, him coming back to Illinois, I think he'll be happy with that. He did a long time over there. He's been over there since 97, 98 in Supermax. He's been locked up since 73. So Roger said, thanks to you, Mark. I'm about to lock in a $20,000 move to Dallas. Appreciate you. Another $20,000 move. Remember about 7 months ago was somebody in here saying, man, ain't no way you can get a $20,000 move. And what's funny is even Pop Sosa came, and outside of our political differences, he said, man, as far as the trucking, he gives me all the glory in the world. He said he got a $20,000 move. He followed my blueprint step by step. He got a $20,000 move. So even still, you see what I'm saying? People will say, oh, well, no, you can't do that. But then people will come up and say, no, Mark, I followed your blueprint. I got a $20,000 move. Like, even look how ignorant that shit was Dizzy was saying 6-7 months ago. Why? Ignorance. Why? Because he's not doing what's in his best interest to land those types of jobs. $20,000, a $20,000 move is nothing. There's moves that are 50. There's moves that are 60. There are $100,000 moves. A $20,000 move ain't shit. That's moving a 3-bedroom from Chicago to fucking LA. It's $20,000. You think people don't move 3 bedrooms or 4 bedrooms from Chicago to LA? Or let's say Chicago to New York? Shit, Chicago to Miami. Once you add up the labor, the travel cost, the weight, all the costs associated with it, depending on how much stuff it is, like where the material, an average 1 bedroom here right now, if I went out and moved a 1 bedroom that took 4 hours, that's $750. So I don't understand why a person would think that a cross country move or a half cross country move of a certain magnitude, maybe 3 bedrooms or higher, it wouldn't be 20 grand or more. It just proves the point that I'm making. Like ignorance, man. This shit is bliss. Shit is bliss, man. That's why you don't see these people no more because they don't know how to get money. Instead of asking, instead of saying, "No, Mark, that ain't no way." Man, Mark, how do you get a $20,000 move? And then Mark will explain how you get a $20,000 move. The people who listen and follow the content step by step and they trust, you see they get $20,000 moves. Like, why do people think a $20,000 move? Like, not people. Why did Dizzy think that shit was like so outer space, bro? I've done local moves a mile for $6,000. I moved a guy from Hyde Park to South Shore for $6,000. Some of y'all ain't gonna know. People from the crib, from Hyde Park, literally. From Hyde Park. He stayed on Hyde Park Boulevard. And we moved him right off of 71st for $6,000. A 10-minute drive. Goes back to what I'm saying, complaining and just negative people. Oh, man, there's no way. How much you think the van lines charge? If I'm charging 20, the van line charging 30, 35. I've given people quotes and I've come in $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 less than the van lines. Sometimes even more. When I say van lines, I'm talking about Mayflower, Atlas, Wheaton. See how that didn't age well? So I like these guys that come up here and they think they can challenge me. Bro, you have 6 months in this industry. I've been in this shit since 2010. I'm not going to lose a debate to a guy who has 5 months in the industry. You don't have the experience. I'm talking from experience. Not talking about some shit that I heard. It's from experience. Just say you haven't experienced nothing like that. Or say, well, man, how do I get something? That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I think people would do better if they change their mindset, even from that perspective. Stop asking and saying, oh, ain't no way, when you're talking to a person who has, is seasoned, be like, and say, man, can you give me the game on how? Listen, I ain't finna be going back and forth like that. Y'all see, I done slowed down. Cause man, I'm getting older, bro. I don't got time to be, going back and forth with people who just ignorant, bro. I get old, man. I blood pressure, man. I be having headaches, high blood pressure running my family. You ain't finna send my blood pressure through the roof. That's why I scaled back. And that's the real main reason. When I listen to people in other industries or in other niches, like finance, for instance, if I'm listening to somebody like a Meet Kevin, right, who, really understands finance better than I do, I consume. If I listen to a Jeff or an Elon, or I read a book and I catch an author, does an interview, I'm consuming the information, especially if it's on something or in a genre where, that individual is more knowledgeable than me. I'm not going to contest what they're saying because I'm ignorant. I'm trying to consume. I'm on the new. Or I may be good at it to a certain extent, but I'm looking at this person being better than me because they've acquired more, they've seen more success in this specific niche. So I'm trying to match that level of success. So it's something that they know or something that they understand that I don't. So I'm just going to sit quietly, shut my mouth, and consume. I'm not going to say anything that's going to piss them off. I'm not going to say anything that's going to deter them from providing. If someone's giving you something, why would you want to deter them from feeding you? That's why I be like, where are some of y'all from? Who raised y'all? Where did y'all grow up at? If you getting some free and somebody's providing some level of value to you, I remember we would just be like, man, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Don't piss them off. What the fuck is this? That's that Twitch shit. What is this? Cheap viewers on streamboo.com. All right, I got to get some mods over on Twitch. How do you block this guy? Somebody's spamming my Twitch already. All right, I don't know how to block it. We're going to figure that out. Whoever this is on my Twitch, stop spamming this shit, all right? So that's it, bro. I'm going to end right there, all right? It's 11:30. I'm going to go eat me some watermelon. Relax a little bit. Shout out to Box Truck Build. Shout out to everybody from the crib. Carlito. Shout out to Mika. Glitch says Bay St. Louis. Paulo says, what the fuck is wrong with dude? You talking about Larry. Shout out to Paul Smith. What's your Twitch handle? My Twitch handle is Mark the Mentor Live. Mark the Mentor Live. It's in the description below. You can just click the description below and it's in the description below. It's in the description below. So yeah, I'm gonna build up my Twitch, and then we're gonna start doing some streams over there. Appliance delivery has been good to me this past year. Thanks for putting me on. Way more money than package delivery I was doing. Man, I'm glad you saw the value in the information I was giving, and you trusted that what I was saying was right for you, and you made the switch. That's another thing. Everybody that has trusted my information, shout out to Box Truck Buddha. Appreciate that super chat.
Sweet.
supposed to shut up and listen to those smarter than you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. To everybody that over the years that has listened and just trusted what I was saying and just followed, I appreciate you for trusting the information I was given. I know I was met with a lot of backlash 3 years ago from viewers and content creators because I was saying something that was different than what the majority was saying, and I was leaning on my experience. But I understand back then why the backlash was there. I'm saying stuff different than what everybody's saying, that euphoria that was going on because of the money that was out there and the volume that was out there, and me being way more experienced than a lot of the people that were in, they just couldn't understand it. But now here we are 3 years later. Obviously the cream rises to the top. The people who were ignorant, obviously, that said a lot of that dumb shit, majority of them are no longer around. But when you just think about everything I said, you put it in your back pocket, you go out and you do your research on it, and you go out in the world and apply it, it makes sense. Nothing I'm saying is saying from ignorance. Nothing that I say is it's all from all my years of experience. The last thing I'm going to do is come up here like a lot of other people do, right? Because they're doing what's in their best interest, right? But the last thing that I'm going to do is send somebody off when I know that to come into this business, right, it costs money. I'm not going to send you off because I know you're spending money, you're spending good money, you're spending money that you worked hard for. I don't want nobody to ultimately lose. I wish more people just listen instead of getting their feelings, and just took the information for what it is. But unfortunately, most people aren't. Most people are going to continue to, think they can come into this industry and it's going to be some type of get rich quick because this is what they were sold on TikTok. But we need those people too. We need them. Ultimately need them to, not win, to fail, whatever you want to say. I don't really give a fuck, because we need people to do things that we don't want to do. The winners, we need losers to do the things that we don't want to do. That's what makes the world work. That's what makes the economy work. The people that are going to do what's in their best interest, they're going to win. Follow me on TikTok. I mean, not TikTok, Twitch. Shout out to Box Truck Buddha once again.
Sweet.
Super chat. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.